Alright, welcome back. We're in 1982. Yes, Alice Cooper actually did it. He did the let's slap every lyric onto the album cover. Of course, here the obvious spot is the blood stain. And hopefully you can see it. It is pretty tough. It does say Alice Cooper in red. I really wish they would have done the same color as the blood spot. I think the CDs do a better job, like the newest release or whatnot. It looks like cleaner. And then Zipper Catches Skin is in red right there. And as you noted on the back, look at that. The cleanest Alice Cooper has probably ever been, minus probably the high school photos. His hair isn't cut from what I read. It's just like in a ponytail. But for me, right off the bat, besides the jarring, clean look, is a lot of empty space, I'm going to say, for all the red right there. I don't know what the deal with that is, but in any case, so the reason why he looks uncomfortable is because I read like, oh, well, when you have it out at like a urinal or something, then you get your zipper, oh, the zipper caught the skin, and as you, like, there's like quote, like, oh, you can see my face, it's very uncomfortable, or like, disturbed. I don't know if that's the face I'll be making. He's not on the right mind here, folks, I'll say that. There was one promo video that I don't know ever really saw much of the light of day on television. I will put that in the description, but it's basically Alice is at a urinal, and then one person walks up to her and like, oh, hey, you're Alice Cooper, blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. And then like another person shows up and another one, and then all of a sudden you got this entire TV crew, and then Alice Cooper is like, oh, man, I really gotta go, and then he, pretends to zip up his pants, and he's like, oh, crap, I don't know if there's like blood splatter after that or something. It's like Alice Cooper, zipper catches skin, something like that. I don't know. I'll put in the description, but yeah. In terms of the album sleeve inside, it's just the same generic Warner Brothers one that we saw from last week with Special Forces. But below there's all the title tracks. This album is notorious for having, all the parenthesis titles. I'm alive, parentheses, that was the day my dead pet returned to save my life. Yes, that's in parentheses, and yes, that's the name of a song. What else? Make That Money, parentheses, Scrooge's song. So stuff like that, a lot of parentheses. I don't really mind. I know a lot of people get bent out of shape, but go touch grass, I really have no problem. There is an interesting comparison I want to make, to which Alice Cooper actually produces this album with Eric Scott, so aka the band. Now 1 year later, another band is actually going to do this, or at least something similar, and that's AC/DC. 1983, Flick of the Switch, which is a terrific album, by the way. And I couldn't help but notice, oh man, similarities are really there. Kind of generic, basic album cover. Basic generic album cover, produced by Alice Cooper / Eric Scott, aka the band, produced by AC/DC. They're not with Mutt Lange after this. So yeah, it was an interesting little comparison I thought of. Within a year apart, both bands are kind of do the same direction. But what about the album itself? Again, I don't even think it topped the top 200 in terms of charts and whatnot. And which is one thing to which I don't care where it topped. I don't care how many albums sold what. You can give me a 50-time platinum record. At the end of the day, what matters is if I like it or not. Or this could have sold 5 copies, and the same weight applies. Say I don't care. If I like it, I like it, and if not, if not. This did take me a couple of tries to like. I still consider this probably like the weakest of the 4 Blackout albums. I'll probably do Dada, Special Forces, Flush, and then Zipper Catches Skin. For Zipper Catches Skin, we open up with Zorro's Ascent. So Zorro's Ascent is a pretty fun track, like I talked about. It's a very fast guitar and drum beat, especially the drums. The drums, they sound like horse hooves, just like horses galloping around, or if you're in Monty Python, coconuts, because it's just that type of sound, so it's pretty cool. And then you get these sci-fi sounds, and I forgot to say that before, but this album is pretty prevalent in using sound effects, whether that be sci-fi lasers or plasma guns, scissors, boots hitting the floor as somebody's walking, that type of thing. So it's very animated in that, so which is fun. But you got those pounding drums, and then there's this little sort of clamoring sound that I said is you can hear it in Lace and Whiskey on one of the sounds. This sort of a that type of soundtrack. I hope that didn't sound fucking creepy, but in any case, then it opens up with the vocals. The vocals are very, I don't know if interesting is the right word, but like kind of fragile, and it kind of sounds like he's getting through a cold. It's definitely not like the previous album where you can tell like, oh man, this dude's using stuff, because he opens up with this Zorro lies dying. He's got that sort of raspy voice like some football high school coach after 20 years and his voice is just shot. But the beginning stanza is pretty cool. Zorro lies dying in the Spanish sun, all the women crying, especially the pretty ones. And then he goes to this adventure type thing of this song, like these highs and lows, full of like confidence and ego, and you can't stop me, I'm Zorro, heaven ignores me, the devil adores me, stuff like that. And there are times throughout this song where there are female backings. I honestly forget what they say, but it is a nice touch, and then he responds to them and whatnot. And just at the end of the day, yes, the guitars are there, everything's fun and whatnot, but I just really enjoy the storytelling of this. You can tell that he is having a pretty fun time with this track, and it definitely feels like it. And there is a fun solo at the end of the song. It is very piercing itself. There are times throughout this album to where it's definitely piercing to say the least. But yeah, Zorro's Ascent is definitely fun. Alright, for the next track is Make That Money, in parentheses, Scrooge's song. I love that opening riff. Just that when I was a boy, I never played with toys. So really, as the title suggests, it's not literally Scrooge. It's the son of a father who was like a Scrooge, I guess, died, and then now the son embodies his father, and embodies this King John, Ebenezer Scrooge mentality, to where I didn't have, well, at least for the son, I didn't have a life besides this sort of corruption, and then now, I'm part of it, I'm the one in charge with all this money, I can make you live in trash, I can make you become peasants, I control everything, I'm just this complete, ass. But when he's singing the title track, it's fun. I would say, though, when he does sing the title track, the Make That Money, it is a little weak, obviously he's really not in the best of shape. It would be interesting to hear what it sounds like if he was just singing it today, though. That would be something. And I do love the parts throughout when he gets soft, when singing about either his dad or Scrooge. He's like, well, I know, 'cause he told me so. And then he says it again, told me so. It's this balance or this fluctuation between the softness and then the very raspy hammering. And then, like I said before, he names off examples of stuff that he can do. And really, the song that really, encapsulates it all perfectly is the damn solo. God damn, what a solo, this guitar work. Just, it's mile a minute, sure, but that really doesn't mean anything. It was, pretty fucking forgettable. But this, it just builds and builds and builds and erupts. Just very, very powerful, very electric stuff that just makes you, kind of speechless after, god damn, they really pulled, that work off. But yeah, Make That Money, like I said, there are times to where, that's a little rough at parts, but, I think at the end of the day, it is a fun song. for I Am the Future that would come up afterwards. This song is the movie Class of 1984, which has Michael J. Fox in it. I haven't seen the movie. I know it's a pretty big cult, flick in which I guess, besides, the Breakfast Club and everything, the glamour of the 80s, this one's like the dark and broody, like, hey, if you're in Detroit high school, this is what you're going to come across type of thing. At least that's what I get from just kind of reading, kind of seeing some, scenes in the film and whatnot. More set on a dark tone, maybe even realism of what it was at times in the 80s. But in case, it does open up with this sort of synthesizer techno piano work, just a very electric piano that follows throughout the song, which is pretty fun. And then his voice is actually soft. So after I talked about the movie, like, oh, how dark it is, his voice is pretty soft at least when it starts. And then of course he hammers in for chorus and whatnot. But he opens up talking about when does a dream become a nightmare? So he's singing about that shit. And then there is this soft tap noise going on, and like I said, piano is hammering around the way. And then he's just singing about, got to learn how to live your life, feeling alive, stuff like that. But there's a part when he's singing about the, make your dreams come true. And then he really carries a line about alive, alive. And then he carries off in the chorus, take a look at my face, I am the future. Now, how do you like what you see? Man, when you read when you hear a chorus like that, or at least a lyric like that, it's like, man, this can really fit on a current set list. I mean, like, here's Alice, like, take a look at my face, I am the future. Especially if it was decked out like the Special Forces gear, right? But in any case, he is real and rough and down when he is singing that chorus part. Take a look at my face, I am the future, how do you like what you see? And then there are, these sort of slide noises happening throughout. And then he starts talking about how the world belongs to him and whatnot. Then he does carry off some lines here and there and whatnot. But I Am the Future is fun. I didn't see it like on the television, but somebody posted it on Reddit that there was some commercial to which they got some, CGI looking baby and whatnot. I don't know, it was like, baby, Gerber insurance or some shit like that. But they're actually singing this song, at least the baby's like singing this song, which is kind of funny. But in any case, I'm the Future, it's a great song. Alright, now to finish off with the side A is, well, no Baloney Homosapiens. There was these twinkle star noises going off for the intro, which I guess, first time listening to it, it's like, what the hell is going on here? And then the guitar, sorry, the guitar, they play some chords, and then it starts getting to a groove, and then that's when Alice comes in. He's like, oh, hey, you up there in outer space, come on down, see us, stuff like that. So the whole point of this song is, hey, there's aliens up there, we're the human race, you can come on down and see us, but don't, go try and attacking us, don't underestimate us, because that'll be the end of you, and, we're humankind, we're mankind, and we can kick your ass type of thing. But yeah, they start singing, like, we won't eat you, please don't eat us, because we're no Baloney Homosapiens. I know there is a line that, I guess you could say is pretty cringy. It's something about, just because you have more ears than eyes, just gives you more places to cry. Which I don't even know if that makes sense a whole lot. Shouldn't you have more eyes than ears so that you can have more places to cry? I don't know. But again, there is the plasma gun shooting, which I really like. That's kind of, corny, but fun. And then towards the end, with the chorus comes through, and they're singing, the title track, all, opera-like, and then Alice is following too, so it gets really theatrical towards the end of an already theatrical title, early theatrical song. But yeah, that was the end of side A. Alright, for side B is Adaptable, parentheses, Anything for You. Now, I really do like the riff of this track. Of course, it follows the, the actual sound, the actual name, so it goes, but I do love the rhythms of the lyrics. So, like, the B-side's really prevalent in, rhyming. Like these next three songs are definitely going to be rhyming. Like if like Dr. Seuss was in a rock band or something like that. But at the end of the day, it's just a song about I will do anything for you. It opens up with if you were Lucy, I'll be your Ricky. When you get juicy, I get real sticky. So that type of territory. There was a fun part too. It's like, oh, if you're Sunny, I'm Panasonic. Which I'm sure anybody like under 15 is probably wondering what the hell that is. And then he starts singing about how, oh, like if you were, drowning in, oh god, what was it? Panda bog, something like that. Then I will resuscitate you, because I'm adaptable to you. And then it's like, oh, if you're a vampire and I was dying of chronic asthma, I'll give you, draw blood for you. So just like all these, various outlandish scenarios of why he's for her. Now, I'm going to say that this is part of this like trilogy of songs that are happening where he's this egotistical, narcissistic sort of sneeze bag playboy guy, which we will get to in a bit. But for Adaptable, the drums are banging on this one, I would tell you, and the voice does get very fast at times. Definitely not as fast as it will throughout the album. But yeah, like at the end of the day, like I said, it's just a man that would do anything for his girl. Alright, the next song is I Like Girls with Patty Donahue, who unfortunately passed away. So yeah, that sucks. But she has a pretty fun part in this track to where Alice Cooper plays this character, like I said, this playboy sneeze bag, who's going pretty much everywhere throughout the country, meeting up all these girls, hooking it up and then leaving and whatnot. And just the back and forth conversations between Patty and Alice. She's fed up, like, hey, where are you going? Stuff like that. Does she have a nice pair? And then Alice is like, oh, hey, I was just, going to go out and at the park, shit like that, just trying to come up with a bunch of excuses and whatnot. But yeah, I Like Girls. It's a heavy drums though, the bass and riff guitar. The voice is very fast, and the electric guitar play happening throughout. And it's just a guy with many partners and whatnot. But I did print off some of the lyrics just to read off some of these. Because there's a part where it's like, man, what the hell is he singing? It's just like mile-minute stuff, because he gets to a part where, she's asking like, oh, what's the luggage for? Is it for the blonde with a nice pair? He's like, oh, wait, no, you're mine, you're my favorite and whatnot. I left Donna and Shauna and Katie and Carrie, Melissa and Deanie. I just didn't have any use for them. I just want you. Really? No, really. Honest. And then she comes in with Oink Off. Oink Off, which was from the last album, Generation Landslide Live 81, to which he says the line Oink. And I believe that'll be the last time we hear Oink. I don't know, I don't really know where that came from, but I Like Girls. Yeah, it's fun. Again, mile-minute stuff, but it's fun nonetheless. For the next one, Remarkably Insecure. So before I had the LP, when I would just listen to it on YouTube, I thought these two songs, I Like Girls and Remarkably Insecure, were the same song, because it definitely opens up like that. So like I said, it's this sort of 3-song concept piece about this guy, because he opens up with, yeah, and then, Jesus, it's like he snorted Anarol and he's ready to write his master's thesis on the last day, just pulling an all-nighter, because goddamn, I don't even think this guy gets a breath in on this song. But he's continuing with the previous song, and then he's finally admitting, he's like, yeah, I'm a scumbag, and basically calling her dumb. How can you believe me? Yeah, the luggage was for the blonde. Then he really starts roasting her. One of these roasts were, if I would rate you, not that I hate you, but you would end up 8th, maybe ninth in your class. Your build is hot now if you can use your brain like you use your ass. So basically attacking her intellectuality, and then he starts saying, he's like, well, I got your sex and rubber checks. Picking the lock, Einstein. So yeah, just basically saying like, yeah, you're an idiot for believing me. Of course, I'm doing what you thought I did, which was being a sneeze bag. But yeah, at the end of the day, Remarkably Insecure. So side B, a lot of the tracks are like 230, 240, very fast. It's not really a whole lot to explain off. It's just besides maybe like the concept of what the songs are. But yeah, instruments throughout this whole song, they're very electrical and whatnot. But yeah. But for the next track is a Tag, You're It. This is a, how would you call it, role play? Kind of like, I guess you get with your buddies, like, D&D or whatnot. And it's like, oh, hey, you walk up into a mansion and the door's locked. What do? Oh, I climb up the window. Okay, you're climbing up the window and a bunch of bats fly out and you fall. What do? Oh, I grab on the tree. Okay, you grab on the... that type of shit, right? Just this sort of role play character or whatnot. But there's a heavy opening, this sort of... and it's basically this Michael Myers character, whether or not this is like actually happening or like I said, this is just a role play, I don't know. But because he even talks about like Halloween, he's like, oh, it's like that scene from Halloween. You think it's all over until they get you, right? That type of thing. But the voice is really, it's a mixture at times. It's either low or it's fast and high, or it's scared. So it's fine. Then the instruments, they complement the fear factor, and then naming off what this, I don't know, what would you call it, this victim of what to do to stop this killer. Like, oh, you grab a needle and you stick it in his ear, or you get a bottle of hairspray, you spray it in his face. That type of stuff. And then he gets all quiet, for the chorus part. There's a very hungry man in the cellar. Oh, waiting? Or is he in the attic closet? Then he starts doing this type of shit. And then there's these sound effects of the footsteps going on. And then the scissors are snipping, which follows the guitar play a bit, just sort of... as it's, the snipper's doing the same sort of sounds, and then he drops the scissors. It's kind of funny. But towards the end, the killer does get Debbie, and then he started whispering Debbie creepy. He's like, bye, Debbie. Debbie, Debbie, Debbie. It's kind of creepy stuff, so I don't know. Maybe Alice was the killer all along. Who knows? But yeah, Tag, You're It. Corny, sure. Cheesy, sure. Just like the Halloween movies, just like Jason Voorhees, corny and whatnot, but it's fun, alright? Alright, but for the next track is I Better Be Good. So remember what I said about Remarkably Insecure, snorting Anarol, there's no breath at all in this track, in the song. Yeah, same thing applies here. Though it's interesting, so I mapped it out to where I'm like, there's no way he's singing that fast. And it's really the guitar work that gives it that sort of elevation. So he's singing fast, but not this, light speed sort of thing, because the guitar work is it's like literally this mile a minute, which I really do enjoy. And then like the drums are super fast. So if you separate the vocals from the instruments, it's like, okay, he's really not singing that fast. I don't know, I just felt like saying that, whatnot. But we're back to the rhyme game. God, I don't even know where to begin. If I ain't cool, my dad's going to send me into military school. If I smoke too much, doctor's going to put my lung in a crutch. If I go too fast, cops going to jump all over my back. He doesn't sing ass, because that'll be bad, right? But there is a stanza in this song to which I know damn well he would never sing again, which is, if I spray it on the seat, lady go and tie a big knot in the meat. If I spew too fast, lover's going to stick my Wrangler in a cast. Funny, sure, but just the way Alice is, he's definitely not going to sing something like that anymore, right? And there is, of course, the chorus part to where the backing vocals are back, singing about better be nice, na 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 nice, na 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 nice, and then Alice is complimenting them. It's like you better be nice, just this back and forth, better be nice, 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 and it's then it follows throughout to which it's like I better, I shouldn't have had it out. I should have had it in. Zipper catches skin, and he starts making these sort of ow noises and whatnot. Then there's the electrical guitar player that ends it with the chorus, but just at the end of the day, I better be good. It's Mile Minute. Yeah, it's pretty funny at times. I'm not gonna lie. But at the end of the day, it's a fun song nonetheless. But to finish it off is I'm alive. Parentheses. That was the day my dead pet returned to save my life. And the award for the longest song title goes to. But it's a fast riff to start things off, and it plays out a few scenarios to which this person thinks, "Oh, my dead pet returned." So it opens up with, I was standing on the sidewalk, sun in my eyes, and then like a truck comes and is like 2 seconds from hitting me until I felt a tug. It's like, oh, that was old Blue. And then, he got out of the way. Oh, my pet saved my life. Dead pet. And there's another part to where it's like, I was spinning on a cliff, and then I was almost going to fall, hanging 45 degrees in the sky. Yeah, there were times that he's like, Mile Minute shit. And then he's like, feels something tug on his waist. He's like, oh man, it sounds like my horse. Oh, he returned. And then there's another part to where he's, like New York or something. He gets like in this back alley, and there's all these gangs with Fatty as the leader, and all got baseball gloves. But then I don't know if they imagine it or it actually happens. There's billions of rats. So yeah, and throughout the entire time, the guitar work is fun and whatnot. But just at the end of the day, really the storytelling of it is really what does it, as well as the various rhythms of how he sings and whatnot, which I really do enjoy. And then the chorus does come back at parts, singing "He's alive, he's alive," stuff like that. But there you go, Zipper Catches Skin. That's how it ends, by imagining a dead pet return to save your life. Like I said, it took me a few times to dig it, but I really do like it. Like I said, it's still my least favorite of these four. But yeah, there you go. Let me know. Do you like this album? Do you hate this album? Let me know. I will see you guys next week for Constrictor. Obviously, I already covered Dada. My first ever video doing these album reviews. Alright, so thank you so much for watching. Take care.